You think of Sesame Street or Peppa Pig, High Five is another, all these songs that go with it. Can science, though, go one better in making babies happy? What happens when you combine an internationally famous artist with an expert on baby laughter? Well, one thing you get, a song scientifically proven to make children chuckle. Get ready for this, George. Ooh. Katie Silver has the story.
I'm switching to manual. This is probably the way you're used to seeing Imogen Heap. The Grammy Award-winning artist and producer has worked with everyone, from Taylor Swift to J.K. Rowling. But now it's an entirely different collaboration. This time it's with developmental psychologists and her toddler. The task? To make a song that makes babies happy. Imogen was briefed by music and child psychologists about which musical sounds are best for children.
The sounds that they like are the ones which are more challenging to them. So the pops and the ch-ch are actually harder to produce.
Casper says the perfect song for a baby needs to be in a major key with a simple, repetitive melody. It needs to have sudden changes in sounds to surprise the listener. A female sing-song voice helps. And because babies' hearts beat faster, the music needs to be more up-tempo than usual. You've also got to wait till they're about 4 or 5 months to test it out on them.
The thing that really needs to develop before you can actually laugh is actually your lungs. It's quite a vigorous movement to make the laughing sound. So smiles and laughs are there from the very beginning, but the actual ability to express them is the thing that develops.
So that's the drums.
Imogen reached out to her fans, who submitted sounds their children like.
The helicopter. Tune the train to be in time. Submarine. The bicycle, they're all in key.
She even enlisted the help of various family members.
Daddy's whistling, Mummy's singing, Grandma's in there.
And this is the end result. For Heap, who releases her own music, receiving feedback felt almost like having to answer to the demands of a record label.
They'd be like, the babies, they don't like this, they like this. But it was okay, because it's the babies talking.
I had friends try it out on their children. For some, it was a hit, while for others, not so much. Katie Silver, BBC News.
Oh, what response are we going to get from George? Well, with me, as I say, is Mum Jo Herman, along with baby George. Just sit tight, George, you're doing a great job there. And joining us from San Francisco, record producer turned cognitive neuroscientist, Daniel Levitin. Daniel, thanks for joining us. You'll excuse me if I turn to the star of the show first, and that's George, who, Jo, fair to say, watched and was quite intent on Katie's feature piece. But let's play a bit of the music, see what it does to him. Well, I tell you what, all attentive there. George likes it. Yeah, you want a bit more of that, do you? Yeah, here's a bit more. Okay, yeah, enough. Jo, you're going to have to listen to this in and out for day after day. So the challenge could be, does Mum like it? We'll ask you in a minute. He picked up on that, very attentive, and you don't look too happy it's gone, George. Are you enjoying that?
I think you wanted to hear a bit more.
You wanted, yes. I'm sorry. No, the director says she's not playing anymore.
Oh.
She said more than enough. And nonetheless, there was something there. Look, Jo, George is what, 5 months old now?
5 months,
So
yes,
you're getting a sense as to what does make him tick and what he does pick up on. Music part of that?
Yes, music plays a big piece in his life and actually our lives. And I've noticed that I sing regularly to him. I sing quite regularly to him, and he does actually, enjoy. repetitive songs. Yeah, it kind of drives my husband a bit mad. But yes, yes.
Can't get you on wheels of the bus. Look, I'll give you a chance to just get George under a little bit of control. Sorry, you can't have the music all the time, George. That's the way it is. Let's go over to Daniel and speak about the work you're doing here. Look, I think we got a good response here in the studio. The music went and George wasn't so happy. Tell us, what, you know, how have you created this sound and why do you think it works? Sorry, you haven't created it. Why do you think this sound works? Why do you think that song works?
You threw me for a loop there.
Yeah.
Infants live in a world of psychedelic splendor where their senses are kind of merged and different sensory inputs from vision and sound all come together. And their job is to try and separate them out into meaningful units of analysis. And in the auditory stream, they've got to be able to separate the creaking of the crib as they move in it from the voice of their mother. From an acoustic standpoint, those sounds might sound very nearly identical. They have to recognize that some sounds are speech, some are environment, and music creates really the perfect challenge for them. It's kind of like exaggerated speech in its prosody, that is its ups and downs. And those very noises that we were talking about, the percussive ones, the zzz and the those are more challenging for them and so more interesting to them.
I mean, we very naturally create music, Daniel, don't we, in any case, and we create nursery rhymes, we create little songs for children. Does science really enhance that?
Yes, it does. And of course, we take for granted that toddlers go through a period of babbling, linguistic babbling, where they're playing around with the sounds of the language they've heard, the goo, goo, gaga. What's little appreciated is that they go through a period of musical babbling, where they start experimenting with melody and rhythm.
Just hold on a minute, Dan. I want to see if... George, it's not that bad, matey, is it? No, maybe he's not a very happy boy. I think maybe George needs a few more months to appreciate this sort of music. But can you put an age on these things, Daniel? Can you sort of introduce different sounds, different musical rhythms at different ages?
Well, we know from the work of Alexandra Lamont of the UK that you can start playing music for babies in utero. They hear music through the womb, the amniotic fluid of the womb, and they're able to start understanding the structure and patterns in music, even in utero. You might say that it's a womb with a view.
Daniel, thank you very much indeed for that. You'll notice that, oh no, we might get baby George back again for a quick moment. Here he comes. Hey, George, we'll try and find the music for him again. Look, one way or the other, Daniel, I think of the music that I used to have to sing to my children, which was, again, very simple, rhythmical stuff. And the message we're being told here today, and while you're talking to us, is that we can do better than that. Do we need to do better? Don't we have a world full of nice little songs for kids who enjoy that and manage?
Well, remember, the thing to remember from a neuroscience viewpoint is that children are wiring up their brains to the things they encounter during the first few years of life. And that sets the stage for their mental and emotional fitness for the rest of their lives. So the more you can expose them to, among things that are safe and not harmful, of course, the richer lives they're going to have as children and adults. So what I recommend is to play music from all different cultures, Indian ragas, Chinese opera, klezmer music, minor key, major key, as much as the baby is willing to take in, and you're helping them to expand their consciousness and ultimately to be able to appreciate all of the world's musics.
And Joe, you've done a fantastic job with George. He's calmed down a bit. How much of it is interaction with you? Because, of course, you know, Mum and Dad playing the part.
Yes, yeah, no, a lot of interaction. I mean, we sing to him at night. Well, I sing to him throughout the day. I'm not really a singer. I don't actually like my voice, but since I've become a mother, I've actually found myself singing a lot to him. And also, you talked about I think it actually kind of wires their brains as well, kind of connects. I mean, you know, there's a research. I mean, I play classical music, I play 80s music, I play all sorts of music.
Well, Daniel would approve of that, certainly, giving him variety.
Yeah, all different kind of genres, but I think actually hearing the mother's voice, and especially with the research Imogen had actually carried out, repetitive music and upbeat, and hearing, I find he actually responds and smiles to me, sometimes a little bit more than father, sorry, but I think it's because he hears me when he's been in the room, he can hear me, you know, and yeah, I think, and also I'm quite an expressionative person, and I find that when he looks at me when I'm singing, certain words when I go E, I smile, I raise the sides of my mouth and also my eyes, and he responds to that. So, you know, I'm learning. This is a learning curve for me.
Absolutely.
And every day is different, but...
well, it's great how we all go a bit gooey, don't we, when we're trying to jolly George along, or whichever our baby is. Jo, thank you very much indeed. George, you've been amazing.
Thank you for having us.